Hey everybody, this is 4.1 extra practice number 2. Okay, if you take a look in the first section, all they want you to do is answer the following question at the bottom. Tell me which either angle or side is congruent to the given one. All right, well, if you notice, they talk about FD. FD has 3 tick marks. In the corresponding triangle, that would be IK. So FD is congruent to IK. Okay, here they're talking about angle A. So if you look at angle A, it's got 2 curvature marks, or 2 arcs. And if you look at the second corresponding triangle, angle M has 2 arcs. So angle A is congruent to angle M. Same down here, but this time they don't give us the arcs. U kind of looks like the thinnest, tallest part of the triangle here. And if you were to compare, I would say that that would be congruent to angle F. Okay, same here with angle W. Okay, again, it kind of looks like the tallest piece of the triangle here. I would say that would be in comparison to angle G. Let me just see if I could zoom out a hair. There we go. Okay. Here we have angle Y. And if we were to compare, angle Y would be congruent to angle C. And in angle 6, we have triangle DEF. So it went from the inside straight out to here. So it went DEF. Okay. And they're comparing angle F to what? And now that would be alternate, right? Because if you take a look, we have our 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal, right? And that would be comparative to angle R for alternate interiors, okay? So angle F is congruent to angle R. And let's just write this one out the way it should be. Angle Y is congruent to angle C. Okay, the second part, it says write a statement that indicates that the triangles in each pair are congruent. Well, really, all you have to do here is just make sure you have them in the right order. Start with the first arc, then go to the second, then go to the third. So this is triangle JKI is congruent to triangle. First arc would be TRS. Okay, if you do the same, follow 1, 2, 3. So triangle BCD is congruent to 1, 2, 3 GHI. Okay, here we have our first arc is QPD is congruent to triangle PQR. Alright, then we have triangle SRI is congruent to triangle RST. Alright, why don't you try 11 and 12 on your own? And I'll show you the start to these. It says mark the angles and sides of each pair to indicate that they are congruent. Okay, well, if you see from triangle 1 to triangle 2, it's a rotation. If I turned M, the whole triangle, a little this way, they would be congruent, or they would look the same shape, okay? So that means that D corresponds with M, B corresponds with L, and C corresponds with K. So if I was to mark the angles, I would put one tick mark in between orange and yellow. And now it doesn't matter as long as they're the same, okay? Then from yellow to green, I'm gonna put 2 tick marks. And in between green and orange, I'm gonna put 3 tick marks. But now you have to do angles as well. So let me see if I can squeeze these in blue. I'm gonna put 1 arc at D and M because they're yellow. 2 arcs at C and K. And 3 marks at B and L. Okay. We're going to do the same for 14. Now 14 kind of looks like a flip or a reflection. So if I were to flip EGF over, you would see that E corresponds with L, that G corresponds with M, and that F corresponds with K. So again, it doesn't matter which colors you start with. I'll put 1 in between yellow and purple. I'll put 2 in between yellow and blue. And I'll put 3 in between blue and purple. And then again, all you need to do is your arcs. So yellow could get 1. Blue can get 2. And purple could get 3. Now, it doesn't matter, again, if which one has 1 arc, which one has 2 arcs, which one has 3 arcs, as long as the corresponding points, meaning the yellow to the yellow, the blue to the blue, the pink to the pink, have the same. Okay. Now, we're going to continue to get a little trickier here. This time, you would have to take triangle K, M, L, and almost flip it and turn it at the same time, which can be a little tricky to see for some. Okay, but what I'm gonna see here is that M corresponds with S, and it gets a little tricky because K will correspond with L, and I'm gonna put that highlighter on the other side with L in this triangle, okay? But then L is used again with T, okay? So from blue to orange, I'm gonna put 1 tick mark. From blue to green, I'll put 2 tick marks. And from green to orange, I'll put 3 tick marks. 1 and 1, 2 and 2, and 3 and 3. Okay, some of these are a little tougher, but ones like 16 are much easier to see visually. I and T correspond, H and J correspond, and then J and S correspond. Okay, so they use J twice again. All right, so in between yellow and green, I'll put 1. Yellow and blue will get 2. And blue and green will get 3. And then you draw your corresponding angles. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right, for the last one, why don't you try these last 2 on your own? I'll show you kind of where they correspond. We have CB, and then we're going to use D twice, okay? CBD. And L, whoops, is going to correspond with B. Okay, so we have a nice reflection here for these. Okay, and if you look at the last one, we have J corresponding with itself, K corresponding with C, and I corresponding with D. So why don't you try those last 2 on your own to draw those out. Okay, and don't forget to submit